Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. How are you all today? We have two friends new with us. Yeah. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and how you got to know about this group. Who is your friend? Welcome, Andrew. Welcome. Your friend? Ah. Welcome. So, good to have you start with us here in Singapore. Yeah, this COVID-19 is not going anywhere soon. Yeah, but well, life must go on, and to be in our situation where we get to, should I say, ponder this question of when it will end, is a privilege, because there are many others from last year until now for whom the pandemic is no longer an issue because they have perished. So today's topic is on Qing Ming. It's supposed to be on the myths and misconception. And then I think, and I realized that because I've been giving talks on Qing Ming, so I don't have any myths about Qing Ming. I also don't have any misconception. And nobody sent me any myth and misconception. So I have no myth and no misconception about it. Maybe you all may have questions. But before we go into that, I thought I'd like to share a story not about Qing Ming, but perhaps related to Qing Ming. Qing Ming is originally not this annual ceremony or prayers for paying respects to the ancestors. Originally, it was not. It's actually a celebration of this time of the year, where the full phrase is Qi Qing Jing Ming. Yeah, Qi Qing Jing Ming. That during this time of the year, the last traces of winter has already gone. Yeah, spring turning to summer in due time, and then there's usually mild rain. Not in Singapore. Singapore, you either have heavy rain or torrential rain. Yeah, long time ago in the 70s, there's this song, right? 3月里的小雨. Yeah. Have you experienced 3月里的小雨? Yeah. Drizzle in March. When I was in Taiwan, yeah, Liu Wenzhen, yeah, he's a Taiwanese, right? I think so, Taiwanese. So when I was in Taiwan, during March, they really have the 3月里的小雨, and it's really fine rain. In Singapore, our drizzle is like normal rain over there. The fine rain is like someone taking the spray and so when you can actually walk in the rain and it's very fine, very like almost like a mist. So I suspect some of this celebration of the seasons would make more sense and have more context in China. Yeah, because after all, these celebrations date back to ancient times and in particular were celebrated by Chinese in China. Singapore's climate throughout the year is summer, yeah, or else it's rainy. So traditionally, it is actually a celebration of a time where the family can finally go to the outdoors, can have a look at the scenery, enjoy the outdoors. Uh, the celebration of the paying respects of the ancestors um, used to be in around winter time, December period. Then the two dates eventually came closer and closer, and then became together during Qing Ming. Recently, if you all noticed the news, there was a rather grand ceremony in China where the government officials paid respects to some of the emperors in the past, and then there was a bit of this performance. And I thought about how, in my little research, it actually talked about that the paying of respects started off by the kings and the emperors. Yeah, I suspect it's a way to legitimize their rule. Yeah, that they are part of this lineage, of royalties. But fast forward to today, we do that. We do that to remember our ancestors, to remember our forefathers, our grandparents and great-grandparents who have come before us, in memory of them, in gratitude to their presence, to have made it possible for us to be around today. In some cases, in many cases, we would also honor those whom we scantily know, yeah, but only heard of. In some cases, just their name. In some cases, we may have heard stories about them. I feel that given that Qing Ming is a time where we express our gratitude towards our forefathers, perhaps we should not just be grateful to them after they pass away, yeah, but should be grateful to them while they are still alive and kicking, while they are still with us. So today's story I wanted to share is what I recall as a story told in the Tibetan community. Yeah, the details of the story I must unashamedly tell you all, vague and maybe even contorted by me. But it goes that there was this village and there's this mother who has a son, maybe a few sons, but in the story only mentioned one son. And in due time, the son grew up and the mother grew old. And as we know, when people grow older, their faculties become dull, they become less capable, right? So in due time, the son decided that it's time to send the mother away. This morning when I shared the story to the children for SUIM, I shared that maybe somebody, discussed with him. But later I thought, I can't remember how that part of the story is. But the end result is the same. He decided to send the mother off. So the first time he sent her off, walk her into the forest, and then leave her there and walk back. By the time he got back, it was maybe like afternoon or something already. Then when it's evening, there was a knock on the door and his mother was back. His mother made his way back. So since the mother come back, he has no choice. So let her stay again. Then after a few days, he again decided, no, he must send her away. You know, she's becoming a burden. Yeah. So again, wanted to send her away. So this time round, walked further into the woods and then left her there and then walked back. And by the time he got back, it was evening. And late that night, again, there was another knock. The mother somehow managed to come back. So he's exasperated, but still it's late at night, so he just let his mother stay. And after a few more days, again he decided he wanted to send his mother off. So this time round, his mother asked whether she can bring some bread along. And then as they went, he decided he's going to go as far as he can recall into the woods. And as he walked and he walked until it must have been late at night. So then when he put his mother down and want to leave him in the forest, he realized that the mother had broken the pieces of the bread and formed a trail. so it was like, why are you doing this? You know, I'm trying to leave you in the forest. You're trying to get back, right? And the mother said, no, I'm not trying to do that. I know you don't want me to go back. But it's so late today because I know you're going to walk very far. So I brought this bread so that you can find your way back. I don't want you to be lost in the forest. Oh, twist. So when the son heard this, he kneeled down, he cried, and then he decided, okay, he can't do this. So he brought his mother back. And then he put aside this thought of ever sending the mother into the forest. After I shared this story with the children, I asked them what they think about it. Usually in the children's class, they are quite like how do I put it? They're always tossing around, Then they play with the webcam, they play with the special effect, then have a hair, the face. But today, when I share this story, you can see all of them looking quite serious and really paying attention. And when I finished the story, then I asked them, like, what do they think about it? And one of them shared that he feel very touched. Yeah, he felt very touched after hearing the story. And I asked them, now you are still young. They are P2, P3 kids this morning, the class that I was conducting. And I asked them, in future, when you grow old, when you grow up, and your mother is old, now most of the things that you want to do, you have to get your mother, your father to help you. Your mother and father is very helpful to you. Yeah, things that you don't know, you ask them, they will try their best to help you. But in future, as they grow older, their faculties become dull, their eyes they have cataract, they have this, they have that. Would you think, let me send my mother off into the forest? In Singapore, it's illegal. And the forest is not very big also. You send in at most MacRitchie, Bukit Timah, Mandai. You walk a bit, then it's already the main road. So your mother confirm come back. So what can you do? Yeah. I told them, don't do that. Actually I asked them, will you all do that? Then all of them, and I asked them, when we are young, when we fall sick, our parents bring us to see the doctor. And then when we grow old, our parents fall sick. Do we feel like they are a burden? As this saying, 久病无孝子. Yeah. If the parents fall sick for too long, hard to have filial piety. There's another saying, one mother can bring up 10 children. 10 children cannot take care of that one mother. It's sad, because this is not just an idiom. Because I've seen in some cases where the different uncles, the different aunties, they have meetings after meetings. They never see them have so many meetings. Suddenly, when the mother grow old, actually the mother never suddenly grow. It's not like the mother 40 years old, then next thing you know, 70-year-old suddenly grow old. Yeah, but when our parents grow old, they become like children, you know. Yeah, they lose control of their faculties. They are more dependent on us. I remember when I was not ordained yet. There was one time I went out and it was rather late. And when I came back, the door has been latched. My family have very strict timing. By 11 o'clock, the door is latched. They won't check who come back or who don't come back. 11 o'clock, latched. Not locked. Lock you can unlock with the key. Latched. So I came back. Oh my God. So I pressed the doorbell. Ding dong. And nobody answered. Ding dong, ding dong. Nobody answered. So I started knocking the door. So after a long while, then my father opened the door. Yeah. And my father double checked before he opened. Then the next day, my mom told me, she said this to me. Imagine that was some years back. And even then, I was maybe late 20s. And my mother told me that your father now must know that it's very late. In fact, my father himself told me, he said, first of all, he's upset that I come back so late. But secondly, he expressed a bit of his anxiety or uncertainty that someone is banging on the door at 11 plus. And of course, it goes without saying, after that, after I ordained and then years later I came back, I see the gradual decline in them. And my mom would tell me that nowadays your father, growing older, he's not like in the past. He has started to have a bit of fear, on this, on that, uncertainty. And of course, by that last year gone already. So this is the first Qing Ming that we have in memory of him. Those of you whose parents are still around, don't wait until one day you have to say hello to your father or mother during Qing Ming. Yeah. It's understandable, especially when you are young, to feel like our parents very mafan, always nagging at us, right? Always telling us to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that, don't do this, don't do that, like this, like that. Yeah, so controlling, correct or not? Yeah, restrict our freedom. Yeah, don't let us go out. Don't let us do this. Yeah, do that. Cannot. Everything cannot. So troublesome. Really not easy. Wait until they grow old, then you see a different mommy. Yeah. Then your mommy become like a little kid, tag along with you. Now everywhere she go, you more or less also get to tag along. Yeah. In future, when you grow up, will you let her tag along? Hard to say. Hard to say. So I told the little kids, I said, then it depends on your character lah. Are you someone who will you let your parents tag along, or will you just abandon them? Sometimes I feel, of course, in some cases, some students tell me, Sifu, we really, both husband and wife go to work, and there's no one at home to take care of the parents, which is true. Which is true. So sometimes I wonder, what is the cause of economic growth? Yeah, I'm not here to question the whole country's decision, because it's not just the government, it's the people who decide also. Yeah, I have students who choose to have one person stay at home. Yeah, it's a choice. Yeah, it's a choice. As one friend once told me, she said, every choice is a trade-off. She's an economist. Yeah, she said every choice is a trade-off. You get this, you have to give up something. That's a trade-off. You have both parents working, yeah, you get something. You get more disposable income, but then you trade off the time that the person have, whether it's the traditionally we say housewife, the mother. It's a trade-off. So what to do? Long time ago, I used to tell students, when your children are young, don't just give them the impression that everything is solvable with your credit card. You do that too often, when they grow up, you grow old, you seek their company, you want to buy things, they pass you their credit card also. Mama, I thought I already gave you the sub card, you go and buy lah. Huh? I'm very busy. But nowadays it's quite bad. Nowadays small kids already tell parents, I'm very busy. Yeah. And I'm not talking about working adults, I'm talking about primary school, secondary school. Start to tell parents, I'm very busy. Yeah. Last time, such a statement will not even leave my mouth, will not even appear in my mind, in my wildest dream. How you dare to tell your mother, I'm not free? You're not free. You may remember that one time my father called me from the kitchen. He was doing some, I think, cleaning up the faucet or something. Then he called for me. Boy, and for some strange reason, I think I must have been crazy that day or that moment. I replied, Anzua. Yeah. I think before the sound reached him, my heart skipped a bit. the guy in there that said Anzua panicked, and the other guys all whacked him. What do you say? Yeah. I recall I kind of like, what did I just say? Did I really say that? Because the next reply that came from my dad was, don't lie. Ask you come, just come. So I went over. Yeah. Without nowadays parents explain a lot. I explained it here, I explained that. Last time when that happened, I went to the kitchen. They ran to the kitchen. I was already in secondary school, ran to the kitchen. Went there, my father just reached out the hand. Oh. Tell the come over, just come over. Huh? Still can't tell me why. Anzua. Kasi. Dare to die. Kasi literally means dare to die. We're very big already. Of course, for children in this day and age, this is a long gone history. This sounds like TV drama series. Yeah. But I actually pity young kids nowadays. You'll never get to experience that kind of I don't know how to describe it. The way you feel towards your parents. Yeah. When I was younger, maybe I would call it fear. Yeah. But today I wouldn't call it fear. Chinese, they call it 敬畏. You can say that there's an element of fear, but then it is mixed, it is interlaced with respect. The kind of respect and a bit of the tinge of fear you have towards your parents. Children nowadays don't know what that is. But we may say, but why must we have this? If at a young age, towards one's parents, we don't even have that modicum level of respect and fear, then we have to ask ourselves, why not? Not why yes, not why should we have, but why not? Because if you think about it, who are we? We are like a small little ant, Even when you are in secondary school, even when you finish your secondary school, as long as you are still a teenager, if suddenly your parents die, I don't want to be nice. If your parents, your father, your mother suddenly die, then you just imagine. I mean, those of us who are really not teenager, if we just think about it, I cannot imagine. No, if I'm back to my teenage years and my parents suddenly die, wow, jialat leh. You really don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe some of you may think, no, I know what I want to do. But how are you going to do it? You may think, I want to do this, I want to do that. But how are you going to do it? We're helpless. In the whole animal kingdom, human beings are the weakest creature. We are one of the smartest, but we are the weakest. Without our parents, we are nothing. Literally nothing. Serious. You think about it. So it's because our parents offer their care and support and protection so seamlessly that we never ever have to feel fear for ourselves. We never even have to fend for ourselves because before even the slightest bit of danger come forward, they already block it. At least to their best ability. Maybe sometimes something slip through the cracks. Yeah. But they try their best. And as a result, especially for the younger generation, they have no idea how much has been done for them. And that's why there's no sense of respect or fear for them. Or should I say gratitude towards them. Only then will we have the heart to reply in the kind of attitude. Your mother call you, then you just, I don't know, but I'm guessing, okay. Maybe we go back home, then we just lie down in bed and then texting our friends so happily. Then our mother come in and then say, have you had your dinner? Then we just ignore. Then our mother come over and then maybe that day have so much things happening already. So our mother that day finally do what mothers are supposed to do. Take our phone away. Huh? Mothers nowadays don't do what they're supposed to do. They say they will use their mouth a lot. Mothers supposed to use their hand, not their mouth. Nowadays, they are just where? Yeah? Nowadays, parents explain from head until tail. Morning, eyes open, start explaining themselves. Everything explained. To me, that is what is creating all these problems. Sorry, finish the story. then snatch away. Then what? Huh? Right. Teenagers nowadays are like that. You have no idea how many teenagers I threatened. I told them, you behave in this way. What do you think your teachers will say if I write a letter and send it to her? The kid, huh? I heard you're quite a good student in school, right? Huh? Good grades, right? I don't know what will your principal say. If I were to write a letter to outline all the things, all the rascal behavior you have at home, bully father and mother. I'm not sure whether your school will entertain such students, Call them the kid. But this doesn't work. You know why? Because the parents, no. I ever told some parents, if your kid really don't want to cooperate, send your kid to the boys' home. Then the kids don't understand because kids nowadays don't know what is boys' home. So a kid like stunned for a while, but not fear. The parents have more fear. The parents, that's the problem. But this is something that cannot change in one talk. The trouble is, parents, I don't know why. Parents these days are so afraid of their child losing out or losing their child. I don't know why. Last time in the movies, the father and the son or the daughter quarrel, then the daughter or the son go and pack up and then want to go out, and then the father just sit there. 你给我出去，就不要给我回来。你踏出我们林家门，你就不要给我再回来you dare to go out, you don't come back. Yeah, then the mother, 哎呀，你赶快跟爸爸道歉，跪下来，跪下来，不要，他是个老顽固。Oh, then run out. Oh, then the father, 都是被你宠坏的。Right? Last time movies always like that. Yeah. Nowadays different. Nowadays when you watch the TV series, watch the movie, the small kids can shout at the mother like this, like that, then not happy. then after that, the parents still quarrel because of like that. But I don't know about Singapore series. I don't watch. It is the American films that is always portraying this. And subtly is conditioning our children, our parents to think that this is the norm, Why should this be the norm? It's ridiculous. Imagine what I described earlier, that I just replied with Anchuan. I myself got frightened. I've never ever at a dining table, not happy, then bang table, then walk off. What you think you what? You have no idea. So I cannot imagine what will happen. I don't want to find out. But kids nowadays, not happy, bang table, walk off. Does it happen in real life in Singapore? It happens. Sad. Ask the parents. I remember. Happened too many times. Western culture. So as we celebrate Qing Ming, it shouldn't just be about the rites, the rituals, just do prayers and then try to accumulate merits for grandparents. They have their own karma. Sometimes I feel like, didn't want to worry about them. Our one problem, our immediate problem, we don't know how to take care of our children. We want to take care of our grandparents who passed away, maybe now in heavenly realm, maybe in pure land. We worry about them. Okay lah, gratitude, you want to do something for them. But if you really want to be grateful to them, settle your own life. You settle your life, if they know, they'll be happy. You pray, then they see, oh, you're worse off than me. You want to pray for me, I pray for you better. Then, of course, there are those newer generation type. When I say newer generation, I don't mean 20-something, no. I mean those who are in their 40s, 50s. Some of them start to ask me, is it compulsory to have a niche in the columbarium? And have a tablet? Is it a must? Then I say, well, it depends. If you go by the Buddhist tradition, really tradition in the Buddha's time, the Buddha never talked about niche, columbarium. You go and search out, no such a thing in the Buddha's time. The only time the Buddha talked about what to do after a person passed away is from what I recall, in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. And he only talked about Buddha, wheel-turning monarch, the disciple of the Buddha, the enlightened ones, then how you wrap the body with cloth, and then lay with the incense, and then have the cremation. And even then, he told Venerable Ananda, leave that to the lay people. You go and practice, meditate. So, strictly speaking, no definition of what rites and ritual. And that's why when Buddhism spread to different countries, we follow the local culture. If you are Chinese, you follow Chinese culture, but then we infuse some Dharma into it. That's why we, instead of chanting the traditional verses that is more Chinese context or Taoist context, we chant the sutras in Chinese. That is related to death, that's related to filial piety and so on. But if we celebrate Qing Ming, well, and so some students, they are like, I'm thinking maybe don't need. So nowadays, even young, middle-aged parents, they are starting to think that, I can do away with it, because in future, my children don't even know whether they are going to be Buddhist or what, But to me, having the niche is secondary, The fact that they are questioning whether I want to have that, it only shows that their relationship with their children is in a very, delicate balance, is only maintained in a delicate balance already. I read somewhere, it talked about how it talked about the youth. It may appear like I like to bash the youth. It talked about how the difficulty the youth face is you are not given enough responsibility. A life without responsibility is a meaningless life. Entertainment is not a responsibility. Just in case there's any doubt about that. No, I'm very busy all day. I must surf the web. I must look at Instagram. I must look at TikTok. I must reply my friends' instant messenger, whatever messenger. That's not a responsibility. Responsibility is before you even finish your studies, you are thinking whether you should further your studies or just finish up soon, find a job and help pay the bills. That's responsibility. Responsibility is when you come back home and your father asks you to go to the next block to install a wall socket. I didn't have to go through that. But my cousins had to go through that. I say this openly. Not to put them down, but I respect them a lot for that. Factually, their education is not stellar. But I always tell my family, I said, I don't see how my cousins are inferior academically to me. No? If they have my conditions, they would have excelled. If I had to go and do wall plug and this and that, I don't think I can make it past secondary school, Yeah, that is responsibility. That is duty to the family. But kids nowadays, not to mention go and make a living. Their own place, they don't even wash. Huh? Toilet don't need to wash. Nothing. They don't have to do anything. They get an award for appearing. And this is happening in school. In school, just attending class, you get an award. Right? Correct or not? Jenna, last time. Huh? If you like last year you get borderline, this year you get B, you get an award, right? If last year you failed, this year you pass, you get an award, correct or not? Not you lah. I know in primary school you did very well, but correct or not, right? In my time, you are third in position, you don't get an award, So I'm very big, because whole primary school, I'm always second or third, maths, second or third, walao, always never miss that 99 points, never get it. Why one guy get 100? Last time when you get an award, it's a big deal. Nowadays, everybody get award. Why? Because we must care for people's feeling. They get award, then the kids never get award. So everybody get award. It's nice that everybody get award. Sifu, why are you so stingy with awards? Yeah, but it warps people's mind, the expectation. Because at a young age, they're not mature enough to handle the award. So their ego becomes very big. Like, oh, I'm so good, no. Then when they come back, then you cannot touch them already. You cannot scold them. I already get what you want. At least, hey, why do you study? Why is your grade so bad? I'm not last one. What do you want? So when people start to wonder whether they have to celebrate Qing Ming, whether they have to have a niche, this is actually the symptom. The root problem is the family structure is topsy-turvy already. It means that the parent-child relationship, or the present parent-child relationship, is already in a very dysfunctional state. That's why they start to wonder whether that is needed. It's a very sad state. I'm not suggesting that we must have a niche. It's the fact that people even have to ask about this. It shows that they don't give a hoot. It's very sad. And if a person don't even give a hoot about their parents, the very individuals who make their life possible, then what use is this person? But it's sad, I still have two other cases of parent-child issue. I haven't find a slot to sit down with them. But the fact that you are here, you are the better breed lah. Don't think that Sifu is accusing you of anything. Yeah. Because I'm handling some cases where it's really like, really, they treat their parents like their parents owe them one. But I may be presumptuous, but I feel that if we can somehow trace the whole record of their childhood all the way until their teenage years and look carefully, then it boils down to this, that they are not given any reason to contribute, to care. And we can always say, no, but why must we always make it so tough for children? Last I checked, we are not high faculty individuals, no. We're not high faculty sentient beings. We are low faculty. Low faculty sentient beings, you don't have external factor, we will just, we are not naturally, grateful. We need impetus to make us feel something. Most of us. Yeah, most of us. How to solve this? Every year celebrate Qing Ming can solve this problem? Cannot. This talk supposed to be happier. Yeah, but if you're watching this online, I hope you think about it. Society is not apart from us. We are the society. Don't blame society. Yeah. And for all the children, if you are a young teenager or in your 20s and you happen to watch this, I want you to go and look in the mirror and ask yourself, what have you done for your parents? Don't keep on thinking like your parents owe you your life. And please don't come and tell me, oh, you didn't choose to be born. You chose in your past life, but just because you forgot, you kind of argue with people. Before you were born, your parents are having a good time, If they can choose, they won't choose you. You think they're so stupid? You say you cannot choose. They also didn't get to choose. Actually, both of you all chose. You all choose with your own karma. True. Then you want your parents to suffer. Horrible children. Horrible. If you're watching this, I tell you, horrible. Yeah. Horrible. My mom always say, I pie, I pie ke gua hao pie, mai chu I pie. Now I understand what she meant, Because as a kid, sometimes, you're a bit like, ugh. But even then, I never physically I never even like display aggression towards my mother or father. I don't do that. But now I hear girls, no, daughter, wow, fight with the mother. I'm like, what the hell? If I'm the father, I will whack. Sorry, online. Later, FCC, I can't look for you. Dear Venerable, it's not so good to. When I say whack, I mean cane and discipline. No. I never say punch. Don't punch. Please don't punch our kids. Use a cane. Don't run around. Cane the hand. Yeah. I just told one family the other day, cane the right hand. If the child is left-handed, cane the left hand. Yeah. You cane until there's a bump. So when your child do homework, but nowadays, parents don't even talk about cane. At the drop of head, I'm sorry. They now keeps apologizing to your child. Your child, I think we should have one session on and bring all the problem kids, then ship them, send them to the COVID area. Ask them, you want to be a good boy or not? Don't want. Okay, go to the COVID area to work. Let karma decide your fate, whether you kena COVID or not. You like, to me, I mean, I'm not advocating violence or like, but I really, right? I mean, of all the different types of crime, to be abusive towards one's parents, that's really unacceptable, Unacceptable. Okay, so I actually didn't want to talk so long. I wanted to talk only for half an hour. In the end, 45 minutes. Okay, so Any questions? Oh, you have questions. Okay. It was working. It was working. Yeah. Or you just use up the last ounce of battery.
Actually, so when we go and pay respects, it's more like for the memory that rather than wishing merit because it will already be probably reborn in some form. So are we wishing merits for the memory of them or for whatever exists, current existing content?
Well, when we do meritorious deeds, be it sponsoring a puja, doing dana, or doing our own practices, yeah, attending dharma talk, and then we say we dedicate merits, whether it's Qing Ming or any other day, merits cannot be transferred. Okay? Yeah, you cannot transfer merits. Although many times, figuratively speaking, people will say transference of merits. Yeah, but I don't see any scriptural evidence of this being possible without violating the first principle of causality. Yeah. In the teaching of karma, the Buddha's teaching is about how we reap what we sow. We don't say we reap what other people sow, right? Yeah. If transference of merits, as in literally, I do merits, and let's say, let's use this as an example. Let's say this is a stack of merits. Yeah. So, and this is my total collection. Yeah. And just for context, each one is worth a gazillion good karma. So it's a lot of gazillion good karma. When we say transfer of merits, then it literally means, come, I give you some merits. Yeah. And then I give away. Then give away. Then give away. So as a result, you literally have suddenly, without any effort on your side, it appears credited to your account. Yeah, like pay now, merit over to you. As far as the Buddhist teaching is concerned, this is technically not possible. Yeah. So then, what are we doing all these centuries, doing all the puja? And when we say dedication of merits, there's a few levels to talk about. The first one is where we do something meritorious. So through our mental effort and the three kind of karma, body, speech, and mind, and then through our wholesome intent, then we generate karma, the merits. And so then we get credited. To make it more tangible, we get credits. Okay, credits. Then we say we dedicate this to somebody. What we are doing basically is we are writing down what we want to do with this merit. Yeah, not with a pen, but with our mind. And I used to like to use this example of post-it notes. Yeah, post-it notes. I'm basically putting a post-it note onto the merit so that when it ripens, then it comes with that intent to use it in a certain way as well, to benefit either this person or a group of people. So we are still the recipient. It's just that when we receive it, then we'll use it to benefit that person. So that's the first level. The second level is where, as we do meritorious deeds, then we keep that person in mind. And if the person is in a certain realm where they can be aware of our deeds, they can rejoice in our wholesome deeds. And as they rejoice, then they generate their own merit. Yeah. 见作随喜. So this is the two ways that I know of that follows the first principles of causality within the teaching. Yes.
So this merit is transferred.
marriage is still with you, ma. So this is where another a third level to look at is we tend to look at each other as independent individuals, yeah, separate from each other, including our family, friends, and so on. Take this for example. Do you all see a monk in front of you? You all see only one, not two or three. Okay. If you all see three, don't say anything. After that, then tell me. Also, only see one person in front. Left and right, nobody else. Those who are online will be wondering what's happening. So, when whatever or whoever you see, you tend to think that everybody see the same person. But actually, everybody see a different person. I don't mean to say that some of you see a monk, some of you see a nun. I don't mean that, okay? But because each of you know me differently, you will see a different monk. And through our interaction, our karmic link is different. So you will also perceive and experience a different shifu, so to speak. Yeah. So when we do dedication of merits, we are purifying our end of that person, such that we are purifying our end that is related to that person, such that when you meet that person, your side is purified already. Yeah. As to whether their side is purified, that's that person's problem. The trouble is, being unenlightened, our side is oftentimes with greed, hatred, and delusion. So whether we meet people now or in the future, tend to be intermeshed with all these worldly concerns. So even if our family and friends, our relatives are already departed, they are reborn somewhere, unless you are going to enter Parinibbana like maybe next Wednesday, 3:35, otherwise it's going to be around in samsara for a long time. So bound to meet one of these days. And if you are able to purify to a very great extent, then on your own end, then everyone you meet is a wholesome encounter. Like how the Buddha is. Even when he meet people who are rude to him, he don't experience, there's no issue on his side, because his side is fully purified. Yeah. So that's from the teachings angle. From another angle, and another an ex-colleague once asked me. He asked me, so prayers for our parents who has departed. So do we have to do it every year? Or is there a fixed number of years? Like maybe do 3 years, then it is enough. Then expiry date, or tenure, or time limit, 5, maybe 10 years. So I asked him. I said, well, is there a limit to your love and care for your parents? If there is, then you decide how much it is. Yeah. It's a good question, because I think sometimes people have these questions. Yeah. But for those who are online, I would say that sometimes for some people, maybe especially now with the COVID, finance may be tight. So for some people, they may have practical concerns. That Shifu, if I were to join this puja, then join the puja, every year got Qing Ming then the anniversary then later 7 months then Vesak Day seems like every other month, every few months there's some kind of then I run out of cash. Then my ancestors are very rich in merit, but then I'm poor now. How? But then my past descendants in past life never dedicate to me. So I would say, don't worry. If you feel that to do any kind of wholesome practices that involve monetary involvement, you feel that that is a strain on you, then don't do those type. Then do those type that is free. Attend SGC. But I don't say this to advertise our program. You can listen to Dharma talk. Anybody's Dharma talk. Now the whole YouTube is filled with Dharma talk. Just watch a Dharma talk. Really pay attention. Don't watch then after that reply message. Then do this, do that. Really spend 1 hour, 2 hours a day. Yeah. If you really want to spend do merits, but then financially constrained, very simple. Yeah, you can listen to Dharma talk. You can do your own prayers also. Yeah, you can do your own prayers. Do your own meditation. But make sure you learn meditation before you go and do. I have some students who kind of tell me, wow, they have this amazing method. Then at the end of the day, I ask them, where do you learn it from? Oh no, I thought of it myself. Best. Yeah. And don't spend time complaining about, this temple charge so much, that temple charge so much. All these people who complain, this temple charge so much, that temple charge so much, then who is going to pay the electricity bill? Best thing is, these people who complain so much, do they actually go and do practices in those centers that offer it for free? Why do you spend time complain about this center, that center? If finance is really a constraint, then go to the center that offers it for free. And if you find that even going out is difficult, do it at home. Yeah, no excuse. In today's society, really no excuse. Correct or not? Yeah. To me, is people just like to, Okay, any other question? We don't have to use up all the time. Actually, I wanted to end before 3. Yeah. You have question? Ken? You what? You bathe already. Why? What? Oh, after Qing Ming must bathe. Then I go to funeral, never bathe how? That's even closer proximity, right? And then? Ever heard of something called checks? Yeah, nowadays just burn one check. Yeah, you just and you don't have to go and buy the check. Just go open up Google Docs, then create your own. Yeah, just create your own. Write down this is to the benefit of so and so. How much money? You can add as many zero as you want. There's no such a thing as currency in hell, nor in the ghost realm. Yeah, I remember when I was very young, we have the traditional. There are 2-3 types. The most basic type is the one that has the silver patch. So you roll, then you squeeze the side. Then the one that is the reddish color type, you fold, then become a 3D ignot. Then later on, they came up with the with the cash notes, stacks of it. And initially it was like thousands of dollars. Then later, every year it increased, become tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, then millions of dollars. And of course, at that age, I didn't know anything about inflation. I just thought, wow, that's a lot of money. But then eventually I thought, hey, rampant inflation, huh? So how? And to begin with, what are they going to do with the money? Go and buy things, huh? Go to hell, then take a whole stack of money and say, can I have a sweet, please? Yeah, and then buy them off. This reflects our culture, we think money can solve everything. Yeah, money cannot solve everything. But to me, it reflects the need for people to do something. Yeah, our need to do something. And given that they are already dead, we cannot do anything tangible. So we hope that at least we do something, and perhaps it can help them. So I don't go around telling people don't, but I take the opportunity to tell them, if you're going to burn, instead of burning tons of it, spend time chanting while you're folding, yeah, and then dedicate merits to them. But I also take the opportunity to explain to them that the burning, instead of me telling you whether it exists or don't exist, I just ask them a few questions. I ask them, you burn, because nowadays you don't just burn paper money, right? You burn iPhone, Samsung, you burn tablet, you burn cars. So I asked them, I said, then do you burn the charger? How about power bank? You must burn, otherwise your amma later, your amma still around? Not around anymore. You burn tablet, then later your amma come, Li Hui, how to use, huh? So you must burn the instruction manual. Then later, after a few days, Li Hui, no more battery. Huh? How? So I asked them. And you must burn the Wi-Fi router. And then you must, Wi-Fi router itself doesn't give you internet. You must burn the telco. You must burn the power station and substation to give you power. Yeah, you must burn the whole city, Huh? Does it make sense or not? But still, I say it reflects on our need, our wish to provide for them, those who have departed. And I think that's beautiful. But again, don't wait until our relatives are gone, then we burn for them. While they are alive, call them, talk to them. Don't wait until they are dead, then burn them handphone. But you really want to let them call you? If they really call you, one day you really receive a call, then it says hell. Then you transfer line from hell. 吓死你了. Don't wait, don't burn some people who are richer, they burn the house, then with the two men and women, the maid. Don't wait until your parents or grandparents die, then burn that. While they are alive, be their maid, be their servant. Easy to spend some money, get a maid. When they want to go and buy something, take the time to go with them. Yeah, I can assure you, it brings much comfort to them. Yeah. So for those relatives who are older, spend time with them lah. Yeah, they want to spend time and full with them. Yeah. I don't find it too fruitful if we don't even spend time with them, and then we want to tell them what to do with the incense paper. Yeah. If you spend time with them, then you share with them your ideas about incense paper, they may be more open to listen to you. It may make more sense to them. Oh, okay? Okay. I hope everybody throughout the world, whether they celebrate Qing Ming or not, they would celebrate their time with their parents, their family and friends. They would cherish the time they have with each other. For sickness, don't make an appointment. Death makes no appointment. When it comes, it comes. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了。不愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛，起立。